Wow, didn't expect that to look so good. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Thank you to everyone who's commented so far on the series and the 250 series. It's been really nice to read your comments. I read them all. I try and respond to as many as I can. So we carry on with this journey. It's a big project. There are 3 RMs, for those who don't know, 3 RM125 1982 bikes, which I'm attempting to do. So I'm at the stage now where I'm going to be stripping these frames. This is the last of the 3 frames. I've done some of the engine, pulled some of the outer casings off and had a look, but I haven't split them yet. So I'm going to give them a wash, and then I'm just waiting for the silica blaster to be recommissioned, which I basically turned off because we weren't using that unit anymore. So, but it turns out that I am, and etc, etc. So that's going to be back on, which is great because the silica blaster does a different kind of blasting, which the plastic bead blaster doesn't do. The plastic bead blaster, the beads themselves are really quite large. So what they're good at is taking veneers off or lacquer off the surface of the aluminium, but doesn't actually deal with any of the stains that I find in the aluminium. However, the silica does the opposite. It literally cleans everything off, and in fact it pits the aluminium, so you get a kind of a matte finish aluminium, and it does look good initially, but if you're trying to do something that is original, you have to then polish all of those aluminium parts up, and you have to get rid of the spark erosion. So I'm going to see if I'm going to dial down that silica blaster, and maybe I can get the best of both worlds. So we'll see how far we can get. It's Saturday afternoon. Everyone's away, so it's nice and quiet. So do stick with me today, and hopefully we can learn something together. Way. So second frame ready for media blasting. Alright, it's gripping now. Always put a nut on the end of the threaded part so you can bang that and you don't damage the thread. Then if the bolt has any value to it, then you've saved it. They're not cheap, so this will have a code on it. Yep, that's an 11. Ah, there's the clip. That's how it works. And anything that you can get out is a bonus. Stiff. Just dry. All right. One's missing. Well, I'm going to have my hands full to try and restore this one because this is fused. But yeah, this is the state of a 43-year-old bike that's been sitting outside in the weather. Wowza. You just simply want to agitate. There we go. There we go. Okay. You see that? It's hot. Right, we'll give that a clean up and a media blast. Job done. So although I don't like using these on the original screws I'm going to use, but if you can just get it moving, then you'll see I've managed to just get that to rock back and forth, and hopefully it'll come out without doing any damage. This, I won't lie, has been a bit of a battle on this frame, but I expected it to be because this frame has been lying outside and it's just caked with corrosion. But unfortunately, there's just no way around it. You have to beat this thing out with some force. You try and do it with a soft end, but I think whoever got here had the same problem and beat me to it. Okay, let's see. Get anything off. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Alright, we saved that one, so we can put that in the spare box. I love some of these sort of temporary fixes to keep the chain going with parts that were obviously difficult to find. So I've done the frames now. Some were easier than others. I tended to find the ones that have been sitting around were obviously harder to take apart, and in some cases there was reasons why those frames were chucked out initially. So on the last of the forks, the rear forks, it is a bit of a marathon. I'm not used to doing things 3 times. I'm used to doing things twice at worst. So adding another challenge for a 43-year-old motorcycle is yeah, it's a challenge. So, but the good news is that it's all coming together nicely. It's starting to show me which bits are incompatible. There are some bits and pieces. I think there's a 1984 set of forks, so that's going to have to change because these mounting points are in a different position. So yeah, then we have to look at the frame. I see some differences in one of the frames. So maybe one of them is a different bike. I don't know. But we keep going. We're going to strip this all out, then put all the parts together, silica blast everything so that we can see what is what, repair what's needed, and get painting. And then we should, as long as we stay very focused and very organized, so that I know that if I have to order anything, that I can order it in time for it to arrive. So I'm still on the lookout for rear and front mudguards. I'm short of a pair of 3. So if there's anybody out there that has them, I'm looking for OEM ones, please. That would be great. This is a good time to check against the decal that I made for this. It's as good as you're going to get, so bearing in mind this is a bit brighter. I've got to say it's looking really good. So I've found in my collection, these are again originals, but they are in a shocking state. Again, I'm not sure whether I can restore these. I'm going to give it a good try. So I'm just going to let it soak with some penetrating oil just for a few days before I attempt to manipulate it. Let's see if I can't get these looking new again. And now it looks like so you could see all the bits that belong to the three bikes. I put them all together because when I was outside in that previous video, the first video I did, you could see I was putting all the bits together that I thought belonged to each bike just to see how complete they were. Now it doesn't matter because all the parts go back together again. We know that we've got enough, so I'm going to count 3 of everything once I've sandblasted. So these ones have been blasted. You can see this one hasn't been. But then I've got some issues with these stays, which is going to be an interesting one because I've got different types here. This is all got to be cleaned, and these are going to be cleaned. Here are my very successful bellows, which I'm delighted with. They've come out really, really well. These are the shocks and the brakes. It's not all here yet. There's still 1 or 2 boxes more. But this is the process and how I define how I'm going to proceed with this. Because I've never done anything quite as intricate as this. And I've got a limited amount of time here because I'm at work. So everything I do has got to count. So by getting super, super organized is going to be the only way to do this. And then I know what I need to order, and then I'm not going to be delayed should there be parts that I don't have. So yeah, that's how I do it. That is not good. No. Now I'm looking at the mountings for the electronics. Have we got enough boxes? What cables need replacing? You can see some of these are okay and others are a disaster. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to replace these broken spark cables, because of course this thing is sealed, so I might have to do some serious shrink wrapping to that. So yeah, as you can see, this was one of the magnetos that had come loose, and the woodruff key had come loose and it slowly vibrated and caused a recess. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is just try and flatten this recess down till it's square. Nice and slow. Good. This is 3 times RM125. These are, so far, there's some extra bits and pieces here, but in general, as you can see, there's a fair amount of stuff. The Media Blast, if you get it right, you get this sort of finish where it's a little shiny. This is the original, so this one's in really good condition. We want to try and make these ones the same as this or better. So it's going to be playing with the pressures to see whether we are able to achieve that on mild steel parts, which if you're going to paint them, you don't need to worry about that. In fact, the more pitted they are, the better grip the paint has. Right, let's unblock this. Alright, let's just keep going. Let's see if that's going to agitate this. Yeah. Excellent. I'm going to try and get rid of whatever serious sanding somebody's done to the surface to try and smooth it out. Wow, that is incredible. Let's see if I can get this to unlock. No, it's still fighting, but it's definitely making some headway. So if I can just loosen up enough of that muck. And I've got some degreaser in there, very aggressive degreaser, which should help make this travel. Right, let's build this back up again. These plungers look all good. So far so good. I think we'll be able to get this one going. Second carburetor. Those. Today I'm going to do a shock for you. I'm going to do the old normal side, not the upside down shock. These ones, because I can't find anywhere that explains to me how to strip these. Right, so let me explain what's going on here. You have a lower bush. Now, I'm sure there's people who've got the right names for it, but you just have to work with me on this. You get to understand the principle.